I had a friend of mine. She was dating a guy, or she was married to a guy. He got into a verbal argument with a homeless person at a gas station, and the homeless person got up in his face, and then he backed off, and then she had to get in between him and the homeless person. And she said, from that point, I was never able to have sexual intercourse with him again. I just was, and that was her husband, guys. And I've told my girlfriend this before: if some dude comes up and grabs your ass, don't stop me from hitting it. Don't get him. And I'm trying to explain this for your benefit. You need to let me knock the fuck out of this dude, because if I don't, I promise you, your evolutionary adaptation is going to have no respect for me.
Once a woman is with a guy, the tests before a couple are together, it's usually the woman's trying to say, is this guy really who he says he is? Should I trust this guy enough to spread my legs and have a baby with him? Potentially have a baby with this guy. The tests prior to you guys becoming a couple are what I call active tests. So like, it's when you like playful banter. It's like, does this guy know how to play the games? Does he get it? Right. Once you're in a marriage, or once you're in that relationship, the nature of tests change at that point. Now it's not about, is he really who he is? Obviously he is. I'm with this guy, right? Now it's about, is he the best I can do? Did I make a bad choice by hooking my card up to this guy, right?
Been there.
And so what happens is, I think on some level, I mean, sometimes those tests, the qualification test is like, prove this guy's quality. The joke is, of course, this like Superman sleeping in the bed, they just knocked it out with Lois Lane, and Lois Lane's looking at his super suit and going, is he really the best I can do? And that's why that's the joke, because there's always something better along the way. But the guy that can answer that definitively is the guy that's going to have a really good relationship. But that doesn't mean that along the way, those tests of, did I make the right decision, the hypergamous doubt decision, are always going to come up. And in one of those manifestations, and God damn it, I hate telling the story, but like, it's when, and maybe you guys have experienced this, I don't know if you have, but you be with a woman, she could be your girlfriend, she could be your wife or whatever, and you'll be in a situation, maybe she's a little tipsy, maybe she's not, but she instigates something, right? Some sort of conflict with another woman or another guy or something, just basically starts shit with you right there, expecting you to go kick this guy's ass, if that's what it comes down to it. And you're like, why in the is she like initiating this unnecessary conflict between me and this dude right here? She's not going to win. That's going to take it to the jaw. I am. So that's the most extreme example. Okay. Obviously there's by order of degree, there's lesser tests like that. But one of those, I think, is, well, of course, infidelity. Obviously, is he going to take me back after I have already slept with this other guy? If you do, now you're the kind of guy that would take a woman back after she basically had hot monkey sex with another guy. Is this guy going to defend me because I'm going to see if I can initiate this fight and see if he's the kind of guy that will actually come to blows with somebody to defend my honor, to protect me or something? I want to know that this guy actually would defend me or would protect me if in actuality some mugger on the street was going to stab me or him or anybody else, right? And so it's almost like these little kind of just gets it up to the edge, the danger zone edge, to see what your response will be. Will you get angry? Are you likes to fight guy?
A mugger and being at the bar drunk, though, are two completely different things.
Yeah, I know.
I would hope that my man
one's a little, yeah,
protect me from a
exactly.
mugger.
So
Walk on the opposite
one
side
of those
the street
one
like
of
a
those
gentleman as
situations one of those situations is a lot more safe to experiment than like, hey, let's go.
Why are we experimenting at all? Just act right.
Exactly.
Choose the right person and act right.
But see, that's the thing, is like, I think on some sort of like level of consciousness, some sort of like evolutionary firmware says, I don't know that this guy could actually protect me if the invading tribe came in and actually tried to kill me and steal our babies and take me away as a war bride or something.
So it's
like
too risky for her to wait for that to happen. She needs to instigate the
or
confrontation.
even if it's a low level conflict, just to see, okay, he really would. Okay, let's back it off now. Right?
I've totally been in that real world scenario like multiple times in my life. Like, I've gotten jumped. The guy that I was just like, and like, it was, to be fair, like, we weren't a sexual relationship, it was just a friend, but that person just like totally cowered, and I was like left to get beaten up by like a guy that was bigger than me. And like, I was able to get away, but it was one of those things that was just like the immediate, just like, oh, this guy, like nothing would ever happen.
Immediate ick.
Yeah, do you guys understand? Hold on. This is so great what she's saying before, because we talked about this whenever we do training in Men of Action. I ask the guys, I say, hey, if you have a daughter, would you rather your daughter bring home a man with skinny arms who's a male feminist, doesn't really like
vegan?
He's a vegan. He wants everything to be egalitarian, and he's extremely woke. Or would you want your daughter to bring home a man who can bench press his body weight 15 times and who's, has physical stamina, agility, and he makes more money at work specifically so that he can provide for your daughter and your grandchild. And if someone were to touch your daughter, he would chase them down and beat the living fuck out of them. Which would you rather have your daughter marry? And 100% of guys are going to say the second guy. My response to them is, then you have to be that guy. You have to be that guy. So I had a friend of mine. She was dating a guy, or she was married to a guy. He got into a verbal argument with a homeless person at a gas station. And the homeless person got up in his face and then he backed off. And then she had to get in between him and the homeless person. And she said, from that point, I was never able to have sexual intercourse with him again. I just was. And that was her husband. Guys, and I've told my girlfriend this before. If some dude comes up and grabs your ass, don't stop me from hitting it. Don't get him. And I'm trying to explain this for your benefit. You need to let me knock the fuck out of this dude, because if I don't, I promise you, your evolutionary adaptation is going to have no respect for me. So this whole thing about you were getting in a fight and the guy just ran away and let you deal with that, that of course he has to understand, like, you see the proper colors, and your proclivity, like I'd say, like a cave woman, your cave woman brain is clearly has made a justification about this guy. And you want to know something? You're right. I don't even think most men would blame you for this. I'm at least setting a screen, and I'm going to take an ass whooping so that she can get away. How does that not make any, like, I don't understand how anybody wouldn't grasp that concept. She's not going to be able to do it as well as you can. And by the way, if you can't get away, even if 3 guys jump me, it's going to be pretty fucking hard to take me down if I see them coming. Why is that? Because I'm a capable human being who does athletic training, basketball, jujitsu, whatever, on a regular basis. And I take my own physical fitness into my own hand. It's my responsibility. I want to be that guy who could protect my daughter. You choosing to not be that guy doesn't make you peaceful. Peaceful men are men who can conduct violence and choose not to. Men who cannot conduct violence are just lazy and weak. They're not peaceful. And so I think that's the massive difference. So I think what you said is very
that's one point of, like, that's where I part ways with Dr. Jordan Peterson. Like, Peterson's like, oh, you need to be a dangerous guy. Doesn't look like he's ever stepped in the ring in his life, does he? But he has a point, right? You have to be, it's a good thing for men to be able to defend themselves, for men to have a capacity for violence, which is what he was saying. Where I part ways is, at some point you got to demonstrate that. You can keep the sword in the sheath all day long and nobody knows that if you're a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something and you never use that, nobody knows any different. They just see you walking away from a fight. It looks a lot like cowardice if you don't occasionally go, you know what, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass.
I'm not telling you I wouldn't even be scared, but I'm more scared of the idea of letting some dude hit my girl. That's what I'm more. I heard Andrew Tate say this, and I totally agree. He goes, if a bunch of guys came after us with machetes, I'm just going to die, because I can't run from guys with machetes and let the girl get hit. Like, I can't. Do you understand? Like, I would never be able to live. Like, my whole career would be over if that ever happened. Some guys came and attacked us, and I left the girl there and ran away. He said, I'm just going to die. Like, that's just what's going to happen. And I know that maybe machismo or the male ego, but it's like, how do you not understand that is a mechanism of female attraction? Why do you not think, like, your ancestors would want a man who would conduct an unreasonable levels of violence to protect her and the children? How does that not make sense?
I mean, that used to be, really, it's the ultimate demonstration of higher value.
I have to admit, though, like, if she's instigating something stupid in a bar or whatever, like, and I was the man,
then you need to break up with her. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So you're right, Laura, but like, also at the same time, you're charging that one to the game. So like, it's okay if you walk away if she's the one who's instigating it, because you know you don't want to be with her anymore. But just know that when you do that, you're not going to be with her anymore, right? But she's not someone you need to be with. And if you're so desperate that you would stay with a woman who keeps trifling and instigating that, what does that mean? That means you have no abundance in your life. And so now you're just settling for whatever you can get.
I have the perfect segue video for this.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Who got it?
Stop.
Yeah, listen to your girl, little boy.
Little boy?
Go.
No, hey, Maggie, go to the car.
Let's go. Let's go.
Giddy
Andrew,
up.
stop. You're escalating. Stop. You're being crazy. Stop.
We knew it.
Listen, you can stop restraining me now.
Wait, what the hell is this?
It was a test, babe. See what kind of partner you are.
A test?
I'm in a fight, and your move is to hold my arms behind my back? You know what I punch with?
No, I was just trying to...
We know.
Have you seen Titanic?
Yes, I've seen Titanic.
That scene where Rose is literally in a lifeboat and then jumps back onto the ship so she can be with Jack?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, every guy saw her do that and instantly went, well, Jack's dead. That's what you did here today. You rosed me.
I rosed you?
You rosed him.
No, I didn't rose you.
You rosed the living shit out of me.
But it's okay. It was just a test, and we can improve. Let's go, little boy. Giddy up. Yeah.
No, hey, please, fight!
Seen enough? Too much.
What? Another test? So what are we, breaking up now?
Does a one-legged duck swim in a circle? It does. Did you guys coordinate little boy? No, actually. No. Oh, I hate that.
I'm going to say this. I don't care who this offends. I don't care how unacademic this sounds. If some dude comes up and gropes my girlfriend in front of me, don't stop me from hitting him. Don't, because you're just going to get hit. And do whatever you do, don't hold me back so that I end up getting hit in the face because you're sitting there trying to stop me. This is so silly. Like, there's a great book. It's called When Violence is the Answer.